All right, good morning, people. It is July 20th, 2023, and we are here at the Brushkana Campground off the Denali Parks Highway. This is a bit of a road less traveled. This is out there a ways. If you to get here, you go up to the to Cantwell, which is right near the Denali National Park, and you turn right on the Denali Highway, and it's about 30 miles in, and it's all gravel. You are out here a bit in the Boone Toolies, but I want to do a walk through this campground. Great campground, but there's things you got to know before you come out here because you are way out here. Let's go ahead and do this walkthrough, and this will be relatively quick, but nice campground. Definitely put this on your list to try to swing by and get. Let's go ahead and do a walkthrough. Show you some of the oolies you need to know before you rock your way out here. All right. Well, the first thing you need to know is this is a BLM, Bureau of Land Management campsite. That means it's a national campsite. So federal rules apply. Okay. If you have a pass, an access pass, you can get a discount, but the rate is $15 per night. Okay. Here's a picture of the map. I also included a picture in this video, so you can pause it there and zoom in. Okay. We are way up here. Okay, this is actually the fee station. So the Denali Highway is actually out here. When you first come in, there's a little area where you can park and camp way up here, but it's a little bit further up there. There's another trail. We're all the way in here into the heart of the campground. Okay, then the day use area is further in. We'll walk down that way. Okay, for paying, they do have the traditional envelope fee site. You can grab yourself an envelope here, okay, fill it out, put it in there, or you can use your smartphone, okay, to register online. Okay, and again, it's $15 a night, so not too bad. Okay, I'm also including a picture of the amenities that are out here, mainly Campwell. I will point out that you're 30 miles on a gravel road out here, so you want empty your dump station, empty your sand tanks. So they'll be at Campwell at the junction of Denali and Parks Highway, or if you're going the other way, it's out at the Paxton Lake Campground. Okay. Other than that, again, I'm going to include a picture of this services list in here, so you can pause the video and zoom in on that if you have any questions. I will point out that emergency, use your 911. You don't have any phone service out here, so there's no 911 to call. Okay, and again, I included a picture of the campground itself, so you can pause and zoom in on it. Okay, little trash cans here. Now, there isn't a 911 you can call because you don't have any cell service. Okay, so when you come in to the second, there is a host over there. So and they do have a radio. They can call for emergencies. So if you come down here and you have a problem, you break down, you have a medical emergency, etc., then you can stop by the host. Really nice guy. He can get you the help you need, to include emergency help with his satellite link. Okay. That said, we run Starlink. Starlink got a wonderful signal out here, so we were not without communications. Okay. As you come out here, like I said, 30 miles on a gravel road is Denali Highway, and you'll end up on a gravel pad here. Okay. So the sites, some of them are not as private as you might think. This was site number 5. So you pull in here. They don't have any restrictions on RV length. It just if it fits, go ahead and park. If it doesn't fit, then don't. They got a table here, a little fire pit. And you're here on the Brushkana River. We'll walk down there. Okay. Nice little river, really high right now. If you've been here before, you know how high this river is that you're about to see. Really high. Now, we actually managed to pull a couple grayling out of this river yesterday, and I'll include a picture of my daughter's very first grayling here. You can take a look at that. If you're familiar with graylings, and they've got that huge dorsal fin on their back, full on sail. They're beautiful fish. Right. What you're seeing down here looks like dog sled owners. See if I can zoom in on. I don't want to get too close. Yeah, we got a dog sled team down there doing some training. Stopping for a drink of water, but that's what you're seeing there. You're in Alaska, and dog sleds are For some people, they're a hobby. Other people, they are absolutely a required part of life out here. Okay, I don't know about these guys, which is which, but it's kind of cool seeing out in the wild, as you were, dog sled team, you know, getting a morning drink. Okay, zoom back into normal zoom here. So again, this is the Brushkana River. And it is really high. We've had such a wet. I'm not going to get any closer because already it's starting to get loud. But we've had such a high rain year here that all the rivers, including this one, is really high. If high water, rough water fishing is your thing, then this is the river for you. And we did pull out a couple. Like I said, we did pull out a couple graylings, so they're in there, and they can be gotten. Okay, but. It's just really high right now, but it is beautiful, super loud. If you've been here before also, you'll recognize this cabin. If you were curious, as of July 2023, that cabin still has not fallen into the river, so there it is. Okay, there you go. So very accessible little river. Now people come, there's a Brushkana Creek Trail. It's about a 2.5 mile one-way trail that you can walk, and I'll show a couple pictures of it here in a little bit. You can walk further down, so people go up and down this river all over the place for fishing. So if you have some little kids that you don't want to take on a hike through bear country, and we're talking real bear country, you're, like I said, you're way out here right now, then you can just access the river right here and no problem. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get a zoom picture of this. Like I said, this guy is training his dog team. See if we can get a picture of it here. And what he's doing is there's no snow right now, so he has hooked up his ATV to his dog team and just doing his training with it. You see the ATV is way over here, and then the lead dog just poked its head out over here. Okay, so let's zoom in on that and get a look at this team coming by through. Okay, and that whining you're hearing, they're not hurt. They are just super excited about being here. These dogs love what they do, and when you make them stop, the only thing they want to do is go. So that little whimpering and whining, they're not hurt. They're just excited. They're upset that they have to stop, and they want to get going again. So when there's no snow, they go ahead and hook up an ATV or some other sled to train their dogs and run them around the brush for training here. Okay. Anyway, we used a fly rod, and you'll see in the picture that picture is my daughter's first grayling with a fly rod. So it's her first grayling and first grayling with a fly rod. This has been an awesome year for her fishing. She got her first king a few weeks ago down on the Kenai Peninsula, and you might see that in one of the other videos I posted. Her very first king and her very first grayling. So super proud of my little girl. Okay. Now I'm walking down to my left here. Are a few RV sites, and it merges into a day use area, and then of course on my right's the river. So I'm kind of walking down the river on this long spit. So if you have access problems or little kids and don't want to go hiking way too far into the backcountry, then this little sand gravel spit is a marvelous access to this river. If you're a fisherman, you'll see a couple spots that might interest you as far as pulling some grayling out. And this isn't my secret spot or anything, so I'll mention that right here is where my daughter pulled out her grayling. Okay, so they are there, and even in high water, you can get a few of them. Okay. And then we have up there on the left there, kind of an overlook site. You can go up there. I think there's a barbecue pit. We'll walk up there here in a second, but I'm going to walk around. Okay. Here's a view looking up the river. All right. Let's go ahead and walk back up. I could pop through the brush here. There's a couple little trails, but these trails are attached to RV sites, and I don't want to walk into somebody's backyard that's camping. Some of them are full. This isn't a very full campground. Like I said, you're way out here. and you're off the beaten path. So your normal weekender isn't going to be out here. So this place is not typically packed and full. Also, it's not a salmon site, right? So it doesn't have the salmon crowd rushing into the place. But there are RVs here. There are campers. So I don't want to walk into somebody's backyard. So I'll just go back to the main road. We'll walk up there. The sites themselves, like I said, you saw the one, number 5 there. They aren't. There's nothing really special about them. Some of them are informally set up as a group site where they're kind of a open area where several RVs could kind of gather, and we've seen that once or twice here already. Others are more private. I'm not going to walk down there, but site number 4 here to my left, it's just a little slot cut into the brush. There's an RVer down there, and they picked that place because they want their privacy, right? So we don't want to walk up on them. As far as stuff to talk about as I'm walking, I will say that if you read some of the reviews of this site, you'll hear the term a little buggy. All right, well, if you're here in Alaska, a little buggy can mean a lot of things. And we're used to the bugs, but I will say that this is the first camp we've done this summer where we've seriously noticed them. It is not a little buggy. It is clouds of mosquitoes. So bring your bug dope. If you have little kids and don't want to spray bug dope around their eyes, bring the mosquito netting. But plan for clouds of mosquitoes. They're thick and they're everywhere. If you're used to it, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not used to it, then don't come without that in mind. Okay, earlier I mentioned the Brushkana Creek Trail. That's this little guy here. By the way, there are latrine toilets all the way around, and since this is a hosted campsite, the latrine toilets are in very good shape, well stocked and kept clean. Okay, this Brushkana Creek Trail starts off fairly, almost as big as an ATV trail, and ATVers go up and down it, but it turns into a bit of a trail, just a pedestrian trail, almost a game trail. And I took a picture of this, and I will go ahead and insert that in the video here so you can pause it and zoom in on it. But we are, let's see, where are we? That's in Inanna. We are way down here. Okay, Brushkana Creek Campground, and so this trail goes all the way up. Oh. Yep. Oh. Here goes the dogs. You bet. Okay. There you go. Dog sled come up behind me there. A little bit of a treat. Good people, and some good dogs. And I was talking in the camera there, so they had to pause and let me get out of their way. So again, sled dogs out here. There's a couple different groups of sled dog people out here, if you will. One is the hobby crowd, where they do it kind of as their, they train them, they'll breed them up, sell them to the other crowd. And then there's the people who use sled dogs to live out here. Okay, I know that group of people. I don't know which one they are, but. Back before ATVs were a thing, they were an absolute necessity for getting around out here. And now there are ATVs. ATVs still need gas. Of course, dogs need food, so take your pick. Which one are you going to fill? Fill a gas tank or fill a dog's stomach? But it is a way of life out here. And it seems like the further away you get from the Anchorage, Wasilla area, the more you realize that you're living in dog sled country. Okay, it's just the way of life out here. Okay, here's another example of a little campsite. Nothing special. This is a little bit more private. This is the one that I was down on the creek, and there was a little trail here goes out into the creek. I didn't know if there was an RV here or not, so I could have walked up here, but that's all right. But again, little fire ring, table. There you go. Okay. Again, we're going further and further back into the campground. And at a certain point here, we kind of get out of the RV spot, and it'll convert into the day use, kind of the tent site. And there's more people, so I'm going to keep it down. Alright, so we're back in the back here now, right here at the roundabout. There's a couple more RV sites and then the day use area here. So let's walk down to the river again. Alright, it is a no firewood cutting. That's for live or dead standing trees. If it's on the ground, you can scrounge it. But don't pull out your chainsaw, for crying out loud. If you need a chainsaw, then you probably need to drop it. Day use area is very small. This is it. This is the day use area, a little place to park. Okay, just walk down to the creek here. And again, the river's a little bit loud now, so don't know how much I'll be able to talk. But there you go. Little interpretive sign here. All right. You do have a good chance of seeing some caribou out here. We haven't seen one yet. Moose, of course. But let's talk about the bear. Okay. By the way, this is a little day use cabin. I don't know if you can reserve it or have to pay it or just first come, first serve. But the little old nasty barbecue in here. If you want to, bring your own grill, set it up there and have a little family barbecue. Let's talk about the bears out here, though. Okay. We haven't seen a bear. We haven't smelled a bear. If you've been in bear country more than a little bit, you know that you can and you will smell them. That usually means they're within about 100 yards, but they smell like a big, shaggy, wet dog. It just, something very primal about that smell. Your brain, your primitive brain, the primitive part of your brain will know that smell instantly. It's kind of like a rattlesnake. You can describe a rattlesnake to somebody all day long, and they won't really know what it sounds like. But you can take somebody who's never even heard of a rattlesnake and have one buzz right by their feet. I've had it happen down in Oregon. And there's some little primitive, ancient part of your brain that knows what that is. Okay? Same with a bear smell. It smells like a shaggy dog. It smells like a mangy, wet, shaggy dog. Okay, so what's the difference between a bear smell and a mangy, wet, shaggy dog? Well, I don't know, but your brain does. You can smell 500 mangy, wet, shaggy dogs in a day, and the second that bear smell hits you, you'll know exactly what it is. There's something in it that will tell you what it is. So you're out here in that kind of country. Okay, and these bears out here have not been conditioned to be around humans as much as down on the Kenai or the Russian River. Those bears know what a human is. They know that we'll back off if they push a little close. By the way, I wish I had my fly rod. While I was talking to you here, I'm sitting here looking at this little squirrel right there. It looks like a beautiful place to drop a fly in, doesn't it? All right, so down on the Kenai, the Russian River, a little closer to civilization, those bears know who we are. We'll back off. Okay? If there's more than a few of us, they'll avoid us. Kind of got a détente going on. We leave them alone, they'll leave us alone for the most part. You got some people who insist on trying to get selfies with them, and they get themselves in trouble. And then you have the occasional unfortunate soul who surprises one, maybe with cubs, and they'll get torn up. And that happens once or twice every year or so. Okay, but for the most part, humans and bears have a bit of a détente going down there, not up here. Mr. Bruin is the top of the food chain. He knows it, and he intends to stay there. There is no détente. Okay? You smell a bear out here, if you're not making noise, okay, make your noise. You smell a bear, you see a bear, don't run. Read up on how to handle a bear, but you're going to want to get out of there. Okay? They don't share power. Okay? That's not to say that they're going to attack you at the drop of the hat. Okay, they're not moose. Moose are stupid. Moose will attack anything or run from anything. You never know. They're just kind of dumb. The bears aren't dumb. If you send the correct signals at the correct moments of the encounter, the bear will let you go. And those signals basically are, hey, I'm not here to take your property. I'm not here to steal your females or eat your cubs, but I do want to be left alone. So if you let me go, I'll let you go. Okay. If you just turn and run, of course, they'll chase you down and your food, but you're sending the signal that I'm not here to bother you, but I do intend on being left alone, and then you leave there, you'll generally be fine, okay? But like I said, you're a bit further out here. Bears are a little bit more of a concerned when you run into them because they just aren't used to people. Okay. But all that aside, we have not seen one, smelled one, or even seen a track. So, maybe they're all down at the Nanana River gorging up on salmon, but they're not. I haven't seen it here in any Brushkana. All right, and that's it for the Brushkana Campground out here, federal campground, BLM campground. A little bit off the beaten path, 30 miles into the Denali highway from Cantwell, and then another 150 some odd miles. That gravel road, you'll be going about 30-40 miles an hour the whole time, so it took us about an hour to work our way back down in here. It's actually pretty good for a gravel road, but it does have its potholes. As you see me swiping mosquitoes away, I'm dosed up. I just hit the camera, sorry. I'm pretty dosed up in bug dope, so I don't really think they're going to get me, but they are here and they're trying to. So be prepared for bugs. If you have little kids, get them dosed up. Long sleeve shirts. Yeah, it's a little hot and muggy. We got a whole bunch of rain last night, as you can see in the background. But even if you're hot, even if it's a little bit humid and you're uncomfortable, wear the long sleeves, wear the little bit thicker so they can't get through. I'm fortunate. I've got a beard that protects 3/4 of my face from being attacked. But again, I hit the bug dope pretty good. So you will need to be prepared for heavy mosquitoes. Other than that, it's a beautiful campground, a little bit off the beaten path. You're kind of out here in the Boone Tulies. But our neighbors last night in the RV were from Maine. So, this is nothing that you can't do. Your RV can get here, it can get back. If you have troubles, there's plenty of people to help you, whether it's a breakdown or a medical emergency, etc. You do not have cell phone. There is no electric out here. Sanitary dumps, nearest one is Cantwell, 30 miles away. Make sure you clear your systems out before you come out here if you're going to be here more than a few days. But it is, with a little bit of planning, it is absolutely well worth the trip. Come on out. I'll go ahead and conclude that. If you like these videos, please like this one and subscribe to my channel. I'll be making a few more this summer. So thank you very much, and happy trails.